July 28, 1988, 1 week after their selection in Atlanta as the Democratic Party nominees for President and Vice President of the United States. Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis and Senator Lloyd Bentsen of Texas took their message of a new direction for America to the members of the United Food and Commercial Workers International Union.
As you know, we have a very special speaker next on our agenda.
4,500 delegates, alternates, and guests had assembled in San Francisco's Moscone Center for the second International Convention of the UFCW.
The next Vice President of the United States from the great state of Texas, U.S. Senator Lloyd Bentsen.
Senator Bentsen arrived in the morning to a tumultuous greeting. Governor Dukakis would be speaking later in the day by a live satellite feed from Cleveland, Ohio. It was an extraordinary compliment to the union that the candidates had chosen the UFCW for their first live addresses to a major labor audience since their nominations in Atlanta.
Thank you very much.
Here are the highlights of that day.
Mike Dukakis and I have a message for the UFCW. It's a message of jobs and opportunity, of education, of housing, of hope for the future. Mike Dukakis and I understand that the labor movement has been a force in America to make the American dream come true for millions of our people. We believe that the minimum wage must be increased. You've seen consumer prices increase by over 30% since 1981, but the minimum wage has not increased 1 cent, and that's unfair to American workers. They think a pink slip in the mail is notice enough, and that's their idea of fairness for the American worker. You know, they gave Ed Meese a month to clean off his desk, and they gave a tin-horn drug-running dictator 90 days to get out of Panama. I think they ought to be giving the American worker time to pick up the pieces and plan for his future. Their attitude is an unfair one, and it's a disgrace. Mike Dukakis and I agree that equal rights is important, not just for blacks and Hispanics and minorities, but for that hard-working majority, the women of America. I support the Equal Rights Amendment. Mike Dukakis supports the Equal Rights Amendment, and the Democratic Party supports the Equal Rights Amendment. But not the Reagan-Bush administration. They're opposed to pay equity for women in America. Ask them about equality of opportunity. And the Reagan-Bush administration say, sure, we're for that. But then ask them what they have done in the last 8 years to accomplish it, and you'll be met with a deafening silence. A Dukakis-Bentsen administration will not hide from reality, will not look for excuses to do nothing, will not take some revised movie scripts or some discarded cue cards to decide what to do for America. Why should you work for Michael Dukakis? He wants to get America up and moving again, moving in the direction of jobs and equality, an opportunity for all of our people. That's the real American spirit. That's the American dream. And we're going to need the support of the entire million of you to bring it about. Thank you very much. Thank you, Don. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Americans, and particularly UFCW members and their families, are looking for a real person to be their next president, someone who cares deeply, someone who understands, who feels their pain. I found such a person in Michael Dukakis. Fair and honest, firm. I probably will not agree with him on everything he does as president, but I have confidence in his ability, his integrity, and intelligence. I am confident you will agree. Governor, I hope you can hear me.
I can, Bill.
This is Bill. This is Bill, Governor, this is Bill Wynn in the Moscone Center in San Francisco, along with 4,500 UFCW delegates, which you just heard, alternates and guests. And I have just a brief piece of convention business that we must transact, if you will bear with us. It is a resolution of the International Executive Board. Be it moved that this convention go on record urging the AFL-CIO General Board to endorse the Michael Dukakis, Lloyd Bentsen presidential and vice presidential ticket, and that this convention urge all the UFCW members and their families to vote for the candidates endorsed by the AFL-CIO and instruct the UFCW officers to take all necessary action to promote unity and solidarity among all unions in support of the endorsed candidate. Further, that this convention urge every UFCW local union to give the highest priority to registration, education, and get out the vote activities in support of the candidates endorsed by the AFL-CIO. That's it, Governor.
Bill Wynn, thank you very much, and thank you for that resolution. Bill, I don't have to tell you how grateful I am to you and the members of the UFCW for everything you did in the course of the primary. Needless to say, a special greeting to some very, very special friends from Massachusetts, John Finney and Debbie McNally, Dick Abdo and Rick Charette, and people who've been terrific to me down through the years. And may I also say a quick word to my friends from Iowa who got me started, Louis DeFries and Jerry Messer, and so many of you from Iowa who started me on my way many, many months ago. You know, last week in Atlanta, I said that if we Americans work together, we can forge a new era of greatness for our country. And as all of you know, that future begins with a healthy and growing economy that will create good jobs at good wages for every citizen in this country, no matter who they are, or where they come from, or what the color of their skin. And I'm talking about good jobs at good wages, not $3.35 an hour. We can ignore the fact that most women with small children now hold jobs, or we can work to make quality, affordable child care available to every family that needs it. We can lecture people on welfare. We can give them the training and the benefits and the child care they need to lift themselves out of poverty with the dignity of work. We can continue to turn our backs on the 38 million Americans who don't have one dime of health insurance. Or we can make good at long last on Harry Truman's commitment to basic health insurance for every citizen in this country. Now, I know some people say that you can't create opportunity for all Americans and build a healthy and growing national economy at the same time. I say that opportunity for all and a healthy and growing economy go hand in hand. Some say you can't provide health insurance for every family in this country. Well, we've done it in my state, and we can do it all across America. Some say that a plant closing law will hurt our ability to compete. Don't you believe it? We have a plant closing law in my state, and it's helped us to save hundreds of companies and thousands of jobs. Some say we can't afford to raise the minimum wage. I say we can't afford not to. And we're not about to stand aside and give the sharp operators and the inside traders and the dishonest contractors another turn at the trough. We're going to have a Justice Department that will inspire us, not shame us. a Justice Department that understands what the word justice really means. We're going to have an Occupational Safety and Health Administration that protects workers, and a National Labor Relations Board which understands what the labor laws of this country are all about. We're going to have a vice president, you just heard him, who understands that when somebody does come up with a crazy idea like selling arms to a terrorist nation, you don't just sit there. You stand up, as Lloyd Bentsen would. You walk into the Oval Office, as Lloyd Bentsen would, and you say, Mr. President, this plan is outrageous and it's got to stop. That's the kind of vice president Senator Bentsen is going to be. And as I said in Atlanta, in the Dukakis White House as in the Dukakis State House, if you accept the privileges of public service, you had better accept the responsibilities of public service. If you violate that trust, you're going to be fired. If you violate the law, you're going to be prosecuted. And if you sell arms to the Ayatollah, don't expect a pardon from the President of the United States. And Bill, let me just close by saying this. We are not going to concede one single state of the 50 to the Republicans in this campaign, and I mean it. We're going to need your help. We're going to need your energy, your enthusiasm, the energy and enthusiasm of your members. We have an opportunity to build as strong a coalition as we've ever had in this country, to build as strong a grassroots organization as we've ever had in a presidential campaign. And the UFCW must be a very important part of that coalition and that organization. Bill, thank you for having me. Thank all of you again for everything you've done. I look forward to campaigning with you and working with you and winning with you. And I hope several months from now they can invite at least a few of you to the White House to break bread and talk about the campaign, and more importantly, talk about the future that we're going to build together. Thank you very much for having me. I'm very grateful.
Governor, I want to thank you for taking the time to be with us via satellite. You should know that our pre-convention poll already showed our members supporting you by almost 2-to-1, and we hope to do better by November. And we'll promise you that this union is not going to wait for the AFL-CIO endorsement to get started on the job that needs to be done. Our goals are simple. Every one of our 3 million members and their families registered, every one of them informed, and every one of them a voter. So we have our work cut out for us. Thank you again. Thank you again, Governor. Thank you
so much. Thanks to you all.